How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Farming Simulator 19 Survival Series. So in today's episode, we are going to try and finish off the revamp of the farm. But you might have noticed that our money went down a little bit. At least I think it did from the last episode. Depends on how much we got overnight. I can't remember. But it should have gone down a little bit. That is, actually, let's go do that first. The reason is I have spent $17,000 off screen. And what I did is the John Deere over here. I came to the conclusion that we're probably not going to sell it because it's not worth much. And was it worth spending $17,000 on it? No, definitely not, because we're not going to get that money back. But what I did is I spent $2,000 on some new tires. So it's got bigger tires on now. It's got white tires. And also, if we jump in on the right-hand side, you'll see that it now has GPS. So that is pretty cool. We have got that done. I don't really... It was hard to convince myself to justify the cost on a tractor that I don't actually want to keep. And I might not even keep. But for the time being, it does make sense because it's the most powerful tractor that we've got. And we're going to use it for quite a bit of plowing and field work and that sort of thing. So... having GPS would just be super handy, especially when creating some more fields here. We can straighten off some of the lines, which would be very nice. And then on the back of the truck here, I have fed the chickens this morning. It's 15 minutes to 8 or quarter to 8. I did get 2 more boxes and I did feed the chickens. So they're all good. And I stacked them neatly on the pickup truck here. So we have got, what is that, 9? Yeah. 9 boxes of eggs that we are going to go sell. And we're also going to take the trailer. So I think this thing can pull the log trailer. I mean, it's not heavy. There's not much on there. And it probably won't get much for the wood that's on there. But it is worth taking just to try and recuperate some of the money that I have spent. There's quite a few trees here that we're still going to cut down, and that should make up for some of that as well. I am considering buying a new tractor soon, but we'll see maybe after the next crop. So I want to finish up the farm. That's another thing. I did tidy up everything over here. I don't think that was in the previous episode. The previous episode I recorded quite a while ago. So I can't really remember what I did and didn't do. But anyway, that has been taken care of. So that is all neatly packed and put away. But yeah, I want to put up a new shed, which is going to cost in the region of $40,000. And yeah, I want to finish off, obviously, the revamp, which hopefully we're going to do today. I'm really going to try and finish that off today, so we can get back to some actual farming. Should we do the logs first? Yeah, let's do the logs first. I'm also thinking about putting in a field here, which we could probably do now. We do have a decent-sized harvester. Something that I do want to get is a bigger seeder. So that might be coming up soon as well, probably before a new tractor. But yeah, I really do want to get a new tractor. I've got my eye on a tractor. I'm not going to say what it is, because that'll just spoil it. But I think it's going to be a good one. I'm unfamiliar somewhat. Well, very unfamiliar with the brand, actually. But I think it's going to be a good one. Okay, that was actually quite high. $2,746. Not bad. Okay, so that basically paid for the tires and a little bit extra. I don't know how much we're going to get for the eggs, because they vary quite a bit, I have noticed. But we have been stacking eggs for quite a while. Well, not stacking eggs, stockpiling eggs, stacking boxes for quite some time. But anyway, yeah, the field I want to do here, I'm going to need sort of GPS for that as well, because it needs to be very straight. Because, and there's a lot of because going on here, but it needs to be very straight because we'll use it as a normal field for now, but eventually I want to make that like a root crop. potatoes or sugar beet. Probably potatoes. I think we'll go potatoes. Crop, which will be nice, but I need the field to be very straight to do that. How do I sell these? I think I just throw them off the sides. Yep. Ooh, that was 748. That is quite stuck. I did jam them in there quite good. 748. $7. Oh goodness. 133. 748. So it looks like full boxes are 750 almost. Drop that. So the price I checked is $4.99 per piece. So I'm guessing per egg. $4.99. That's a lot. Okay, I don't know what the total there was, but I know that the tractor modifications, obviously they were 17,000, and before I did them we were at around $163,000, and at the moment we are at just about 155. So we only really $8,000 down on where we were. And yeah, I know it's money that we'll never get back, but I think for now it's going to make sense. And yeah, we might do that second field. I also need to look into doing something different with the big field that we've got all the way across the pond there. Because that is not very GPS friendly. So we might need to change the shape of that field. And to do that, we'll possibly need to move the road. Which is fine, we can do that. It'll just cost a bit of money. I would prefer to do that because I want to try and get GPS installed in more of our vehicles, because it just makes things a lot easier and a bit more productive, I guess, and sometimes cheaper as well, because then when doing things like fertilizer, at the moment I'm trying to not miss things, so I have pretty big overlaps, and that is costing us a lot in materials, especially when it comes to lime. Lime, because that goes quite quickly, you use a lot, and it's not that cheap. So one of those things where I'd prefer to have GPS, and we'll see. I think the next tractor to get GPS will probably be the Ford. The Mercedes doesn't really do field work. Okay, we can leave that there. The Mercedes doesn't really do field work. I think the Ford is going to do a lot of the potato stuff when we eventually get to that. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Right, that is done. So what we need to do now, the Massey, that'll probably never get GPS, to be honest. I think it'll just be the John Deere and the Ford for GPS for the older pieces of equipment. But yeah, we'll see. So, plow. I need the plow. Where did we put the plow? That is a good question. Oh, there it is. Blends in. Almost missed that. Well, looking at it, we don't really need another shed, because this is quite a big shed. It's just a shed this deep is quite tricky to really utilize with implements. I mean, if you've got big harvesters and things, sure, that's easy enough, but I don't know. Doesn't work that great for implements. I want a sort of smaller, wider, and shallower, if that makes sense, shed for implements. Just want to make sure allow fields is not on, which is it. It isn't. Drop that down. So we'll do just sort of one pass here, and then we'll set the GPS up and get the initial lines knocked out. And I'll time lapse most of this anyway. Get rid of the straw that's over there. That's a good way of getting rid of straw. Unwanted straw. So yeah, the chickens are doing well. I didn't check if we've got more chickens. I think we ended up with 16 last time. but I'm not sure where we're at the moment. Right. Okay, this implement does actually work backwards, weirdly, somehow. I'm not going to use it backwards, just a piece of useless information, but sometimes it is quite handy just to push it back. I don't know how much I want to take off this. Not too much. I basically just want to get rid of the road. So maybe there. So let's set auto width will drop down to maybe do 5.9. No offset. Show lines, yes. And we'll go here and we'll set that to 0 and we'll call that plow. So that'll save it. Plow. Good. Alrighty, so that's kind of where we're at. Activate that. And, well, like over here, this will actually be a good spot to use this thing backwards to get that line. So let's go create fields. And that'll be fine. Right. Let's see how this is going to go. Yeah, I think that's wide enough. I don't want to get too close to the rocks because I still want to put some trees in here as well. Right, before I carry on, let's do some landscaping, some real quick landscaping. I don't know if I want to go into there. Maybe I should. Maybe I should just leave that alone. Let's do that. Okay, let's make a turn here. I didn't know how early I wanted to make that turn. I'll get rid of some of these bushes. Dang it. There we go. Alright. Looking good so far. I think we'll come around here. I might change this up a little bit. But let's just try and get sort of an initial line for now. Do that. Do that. I don't know how close I want to get to the road. I suppose we can get pretty close. No reason why not. Just wasted land if we don't. Because we've got the nice view and everything on the other side now. Alright. Yeah, we can do a nice turn here. Okay. So, let's turn the GPS that way. And let's see where it goes. Oh. Okay, that changed a little bit. Let's go back, fill that in. Alright, that's fine. I try. Oh, that was a stutter. I want to try and get a perfectly straight line down here all the way to the other side of the field, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. I think the edge of the field over there is just a little bit too far out. There might be a bit of a problem. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. I think from here on in, because we're already quite a long ways into this episode and I really want to get this done this episode, I might just take away the corner of this field and then plow the rest in. But I think from here on in we are going to do a time lapse and then I'll catch you guys sort of at the end. Alright, that is basically everything done, and I think it's pretty damn good. So what I did down here is I made it very, very marginally bigger, just to straighten it out, really. And then over on this side, we've actually made it quite a little bit wider. Basically everything that's plowed, that much wider. So we could definitely have gotten close to this rock from the start. So definitely worth doing that. Over here, I didn't really do much, just straighten everything out. And then over on this side, it became a little bit bigger. I would say about 3 meters or so. Nothing huge. And then over here, just tidied everything up, really. And then over here is the big change. So this actually adds quite a bit of extra sewing area. And yeah, I think it's going to be pretty damn good. I'd like to get rid of some of these bushes on the edge, but they look kind of nice. We might leave them. So this comes right up to the entrance of the farm, and this is obviously why we had to remove these trees. I don't want to do anything with this. I want to keep this exactly the way it is. I think it's kind of nice. It adds a bit of a feature to this field, and it doesn't take away all of the vegetation. So what I am thinking is over here, I might want to do some trees, maybe. Although I kind of like being able to see the other field coming in from the farm. But I might do some trees, or maybe over here do some trees. I don't know, we might do something there. But around the farm, I'm definitely going to plant some spruce trees around the farm, which is basically the trees you see around. But I think we'll do that in good time. What I think will happen in the next episode, we are basically done with the farm... What was it called? Revamp. Farm Revamp. So we're basically done with that. What I think we will do in the next episode is this field needs some lime. So we'll probably do that. And the other field back there, the big field, that needs to be changed, as I mentioned earlier. Probably the road moved. So we might do those changes in the next episode. It just needs to be changed so it works a little bit better with the whole GPS system and all of that good stuff. Hopefully not huge changes, but it could be. But we'll have to wait and see. But that is basically it for now. I actually want to jump up on that rock and see what the field sort of looks like. Obviously it looks a bit weird now because it's sort of patched. But when everything's plowed together or cultivated together or seeded together, it'll look kind of nice. It'll look sort of the same. Yeah, I think that's kind of nice. I like that little patch over there. And I think that's going to add quite a bit to our field. I think we basically almost doubled the size of this field with adding the bit down there and adding a bit on the end there and adding obviously all of this. I think we added quite a bit to this field, and I think it's going to look really nice having this field next to the road. So you've got the water and the scenery on that side and the field on this side. Very farm-ish, homesteady, I suppose. And another thing that I did, which I kind of forgot, and I just thought about it while I was plowing, is I got rid of the sort of Baywatch tower that we had, which I don't really know what you would use that for, and also the deer stand or bird watching box, whichever one you prefer. But yeah, that is basically it. So I think it's good. I think we're heading in the right direction. And now that this is done, we can get a bit more back into farming, except for fixing the other field and planting some trees. But we'll see when we do all of that. We'll sort of do it progressively. I think the field will probably be in the next episode, and some lime spreading, because all of this new field will need lime anyways. So that's something we have to do regardless, and what's left of that field, the original field, also needs lime, so we need to lime everything. I don't know if we've still got lime in stock. Yes, we do. Okay, we've still got a bit of lime. I don't think this is going to be enough, but... here's some more in bags. So, yeah, we've got quite a bit of lime, actually. Might be enough. We'll have to see. Anyway, that's going to be it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you all next time.